So, welcome back again on Passion Studies. My name is Dikshant Sharma. We are continuing with test series on the chapter 5, that is Patterns of Social Inequality and Exclusion from book 1 class 12th Sociology. So हम यहाँ पर कंटिन्यू करेंगे फ्रॉम क्वेश्चन नंबर 11 टिल क्वेश्चन नंबर 20. सो अगर आपने पार्ट 1 नहीं देखा है इस चैप्टर का ऑन द टेस्ट सीरीज़ तो आप जाके देख सकते हैं. क्विज़ जो है टेस्ट सीरीज़ में मतलब जो मैंने क्वेश्चंस डिक्टेट किए हैं आप वो सुनकर आंसर्स अटेम्प्ट कर सकते हैं एंड लास्ट में जो मैंने आपको आंसर्स बताए हैं उससे आप उनको मैच करके अपना स्कोर देख सकते हैं. यहाँ पर हम स्टार्ट करेंगे फ्रॉम क्वेश्चन नंबर 11. सो क्वेश्चन इज On May 17, 1954, the United States Supreme Court ruled that mandatory school segregation was unconstitutional. Subsequently, the Supreme Court moved towards outlawing all legalized segregation in the United States. This was followed by new civil rights legislation enacted by Congress, including option number 1, the Civil Rights Acts of 1964, option number 2, the Equal Rights Amendment of 1984, option number 3, the Prohibition Act of 1929, and the last option, none of the above. Your time starts now. आप मुझे आंसर कमेंट सेक्शन में या लाइव सेक्शन में लाइव चैट में दे सकते हैं राइट एंड यू कैन राइट द फुल आंसर और ऑप्शन नंबर 1 2 3 4. योर टाइम इज ओवर. नाउ मूविंग ऑन द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. अगर आपने अभी आंसर नहीं लिखा है तो आप पॉज भी कर सकते हैं एंड देन यू कैन जस्ट राइट डाउन और यू कैन जस्ट टाइप द आंसर. Now coming on question number 12, that is William Julius Wilson observed regarding the declining significance of race. William Julius Wilson's observation regarding the declining significance of race, option number 1, is based on research showing that civil rights legislation and affirmative action programs have increased segregation. Option number 2 is supported by the disappearance of unemployment and poverty, as almost all African Americans have moved into the middle class. Option number 3 is based on his observations that African American economic advancement is more affected by class position than by race. And option number 4, that is, has persuaded sociologists that discrimination and racism have been all but eradicated from American society. So your time starts now. These questions are internally and in a very, I will say, indirect language. तो यहाँ पर आपको काफ़ी बोलूँगा थॉरो नॉलेज चाहिए इन क्वेश्चंस को सॉल्व करने के लिए. Your time is over. Now coming on question number 13, that is Hispanics, option number 1, register and vote at rates much higher than the American population in general. Option number 2, account for approximately 1/10 of the legal immigration into the United States. Option number 3, usually achieve a higher level of education than other Americans. And option number 4, prefer to identify themselves by their ethnic group rather than by the broader term Hispanic. Your time starts now. Your time is over. Now coming on question number 14. Question number 14 says, which of the following is true regarding symbolic ethnicity? Option number 1, symbolic ethnicity creates strong ethnic group ties but does not affect the individual's personal life. Option number 2, most Mexican Americans exhibit symbolic ethnicity. Option number 3, that is, personal ethnicity has a profound effect on the everyday life of white Americans. And option number 4, that is, none of the above is true. Your time starts now. Question number 15. Functionalists argue that even though ethnic conflict is dysfunctional, it may still serve some important functions in society. Which of the following is not one of those important functions? Option number 1. Conflict promotes group formation and cohesion. Option number 2. Conflict may function as a safety valve for society by enabling hostilities to be channeled towards permissible targets known as scapegoats. Option number 3. A multiplicity of conflicts between large numbers of differing groups within a society may be conducive to a democratic as opposed to a totalitarian society. And option number 4. Conflict attributable to ethnic stratification problems may reach an unacceptable frequency and intensity. Your time starts now. Your time is over. Now coming on question number 16. Question is, Marxist oriented theorists, option number 1, have found that American race and ethnic relations have little connection to global issues. Option number 2, contend that racism serves the economic interests of the capitalist class. Option number 3, argue that prejudice, discrimination, and racism operate outside of social structures. And option number 4, conclude that racist notions serve the economic interests of people of color worldwide. Your time starts now. Your time is over. Now coming on question number 17. A split labor market, option number 1, underlies the development of ethnic tensions. Option number 2, results in more well-defined norms and roles. Option number 3, divides managerial and line workers. And option number 4, none of the above. Your time starts now. Your time is over. Now coming on question number 18. The question is, according to Shibutani and Kavan. According to Shibutani and Kavan, multiple communication channels and an ability to communicate freely and easily with members of other groups result in option number 1, reduced ethnocentrism and prejudice. Option number 2, increased ethnic distinctions and ethnic tension. Option number 3, increased group isolation. And option number 4, none of the above. Your time starts now. Your time is over. Now coming on question number 19. Which of the following is true of interactionists? Option number 1. Interactionists believe that groups will experience conflict only if they are of two distinct ethnic groups. Option number 2. Interactionists downplay the role of communication in ethnicity. Option number 3, interactionists believe the world we experience is socially constructed. Option number 4, all of the above. Your time starts now. Your time is over. Now coming on the last question, that is question number 20. Both the functionalists and conflict perspectives agree that, I repeat, both the functionalist and conflict perspectives agree that option number 1, if ethnic stratification continues in a society, conflict will decrease as people are socialized into the stratification system. Option number 2, ethnic stratification will persist as long as it is in the best interests of those in power. Option number 3, conflicts will be particularly likely and serve if class and ethnic cleavages coincide. And option number 4, none of the above. Your time starts now. Your time is over. Now, I hope you people have answered all the questions. अगर आपने नहीं किए हैं तो आप पॉज कर सकते हैं किसी भी क्वेश्चन को वीडियो को बीच में एंड फिर आप आंसर लिख सकते हैं नोटबुक पे या फिर कमेंट सेक्शन और इन द लाइव चैट रिप्लाई. So the answer for question number 11 is first option, that is the Civil Rights Act of 1964. For question number 12, the right answer is option number 4, that is has persuaded sociologists that discrimination and racism have been all but eradicated from American society. Then for question number 13, the right answer is option number 4, prefer to identify themselves by their ethnic group rather than by the broader term Hispanic. And for question number 14, the right answer is option number 3, personal ethnicity has a profound effect on the everyday life of white Americans. And coming on question number 15, so the right answer is option number 2, that is conflict may function as a safety valve for society by enabling hostilities to be channeled towards permissible targets known as scapegoats. Then coming on question number 16, the right answer is option number 4, that is conclude that racist notions serve the economic interests of people of color worldwide. Coming on question number 17, the right answer is option number 3, that is divides managerial and line workers. Coming on question number 18, the right answer is option number 3, increased group isolation. And now coming on question number 19, the right answer is option number 4, that is all of the above, right? And the last question, that is question number 20, the right answer is option number 4, that is none of the above. So these are the right answers for all the correct questions, I would say. And इस चैप्टर में बेसिकली आपको कुछ क्वेश्चंस लगेगा कि बहुत ही इंडायरेक्ट आपने नहीं पढ़े होंगे, तो इसके लिए आपको बहुत थॉरो रीडिंग लेनी पड़ेगी. सारे पैसेजेस, सारे पैराग्राफ्स को देखना पड़ेगा. एडिशनली आपको इंटरनेट से भी हेल्प लेनी पड़ेगी. एंड देन दिस चैप्टर विल बी ऑन द टिप्स एंड वेरी वेरी थॉरो यू विल बी विद दिस चैप्टर. आपको हर एक लाइन समझ आ जाएगी. विद दिस आई एंड दिस क्विज सेशन, द टेस्ट सीरीज फॉर चैप्टर नंबर 5. मिलते हैं फिर नेक्स्ट चैप्टर के साथ एंड एक नई टेस्ट सीरीज़ के साथ. रिवाइज करते रहिए, रिकैप्चुलेट करते रहिए, एंड डू नॉट फॉरगेट टू सब्सक्राइब पैशन स्टडीज़. थैंक यू सो मच.